Yamanaka Yuki is a 21-year-old ordinary college student. He doesn't belong to any clubs and spends his days with just part-time jobs and lectures, living a typical existence. He isn't completely friendless, but he doesn't have any particularly close relationships either. The only thing that brings color to his daily life is SNS. Several months ago, triggered by a movie review he posted as a hobby, he received a message from one particular user.
Nice to meet you. I love this movie too. The final scene was especially striking, wasn't it?
Her profile picture was a cute illustration, and her gentle personality came through in her writing. He casually responded,
Oh, really? This movie has incredible foreshadowing, right?
From there, their exchanges began, focusing on movies and books, and he gradually started talking about daily events and worries.
Hey, you've been glued to your phone lately. Another movie?
Yeah, but it's not just movies.
Oh, and what does that mean?
He hesitated a bit about showing his interactions with Akane, but since it was Daiki who would pester him relentlessly, he decided to show him. Reluctantly, he showed the screen, and Daiki smirked.
Dude, this is totally a girl, right? She seems pretty interested in you, too.
You think so? We're just talking because we have similar interests.
Day by day, his interactions with Akane deepened, and she gradually began to talk about her past.
Actually, I had trouble getting along with people at my last school. That's why I'm taking a break right now.
I see. But when I talk with you, I don't get the sense that you've gone through something so painful.
That's because you're so kind, Yuki.
One day, a casual remark he sent turned out to be the start of everything.
I hope we can meet and talk in person someday.
Do you really mean that? I'd go anywhere if it meant I could see you.
Of course. But are you sure about the distance?
It's fine. I've got everything prepared.
The following morning, he was awakened by the doorbell before 7 a.m. Who could it be at this early hour? Rubbing the sleep from his eyes, he opened the door to find a woman standing there. Her gentle smile combined with a slightly cold gaze, and she spoke softly.
Good morning, Yuki. I'm Akane.
Huh? Akane? Why are you here?
Because you said it was okay for me to come. I want to be by your side. That's why I came all the way to see you.
He couldn't comprehend the situation.
Wait, but how did you find my address?
Smiling, she answered,
From the photos you posted on SNS, the scenery in the background, and the times you posted. I deduced it from that. And combining that with the hints you gave about your college made it easy.
Could someone really pinpoint all that from casual SNS posts? That was the moment he realized her observation skills, or rather her obsession, was far from normal. While he was still confused, Akane walked into his apartment with her luggage as if it were the most natural thing in the world.
Hey, wait, what are you doing?
Excuse me, these are my things. I got them ready yesterday.
She placed a large suitcase in the corner of the living room, seemingly filled with clothes and personal items.
How many days' worth of stuff is that?
It might be a bit long, so about a week's worth. Don't worry, I'll make sure I'm not a bother.
A week? Hold on, I never said we could live together.
But you said it was okay for me to come, didn't you? So I believed your words and came here.
He was speechless. Sure, he casually said she could come someday, but he never imagined it would turn into this. As she unpacked, he thought about how to politely ask her to leave, but he wasn't sure how to do so without hurting her feelings.
Akane, at least for today, could you not stay here? You could get a hotel or something, right?
Yuki, am I bothering you by staying here?
She fell silent and lowered her gaze slightly, then slowly looked up at him. Her eyes seemed to glisten with tears.
I was honestly scared to come here, but I believed you'd accept me.
Her expression and words made him feel guilty. She had mentioned being hurt by relationships in the past, and he felt it would be too cruel to reject her outright now.
All right, you can stay for today at least, but a whole week might be too much.
Really? Thank you, Yuki.
Her smile was so pure, like a child's, but he couldn't completely shake the uneasy feeling that something lay hidden beneath it. On the other hand, he couldn't sleep at all, staring at the ceiling and wondering why she was so fixated on him. Something about the situation didn't seem normal. The next morning, he woke to find the living room empty. Instead, a prepared breakfast was set on the table.
Good morning, Yuki. I prepared a balanced breakfast for you.
It was like a newlywed scene, and he wavered between fear and relief. The delicious aroma filled the living room, and it seemed peaceful at a glance, but the discomfort from the day before lingered in his mind.
Thank you, but when did you make this, Akane?
I got up early to do it. It makes me happy when you eat properly.
He smiled in response, but inwardly felt cautious. Wasn't it odd for someone to intrude on his life so much in such a short time? After finishing his college lectures, he went to his part-time job and decided to confide in his friend Daiki. The moment he sat down at the cafe, Daiki couldn't hide his curiosity.
So, how was it? Is the girl from online cute?
Cute isn't really the word. Honestly, she's kind of scary.
Scary? What do you mean?
He calmly explained that Akane had suddenly shown up at his place and how she deduced his address in college. As he spoke, Daiki's expression grew increasingly grim.
That's messed up. She's basically a stalker.
But she's not a bad person. She's just intense, that's all.
Yuki, you realize that's your weakness, right? If you keep letting her pull you along, you're going to end up in serious trouble.
Daiki was probably right, but he couldn't bring himself to completely reject Akane either. That night, he returned home to find that the atmosphere of his room had slightly changed. There were new potted plants and decor he didn't own.
Did you put these here, Akane?
Yes, I thought making your room a bit brighter would help you relax.
She smiled naturally, but he felt a chill run down his spine. Her idea of helping out had clearly gone beyond a normal scope. The next day, his phone vibrated during a college lecture. It was a message from Akane. "Who are you having lunch with?" It was unlikely she was physically at the college, but the fact that she was concerned about whom he was with made him uneasy. He hesitated to reply. Then another message arrived. "Are you ignoring me now?" The tone of her messages changed slightly. Startled, he quickly responded, and she replied, "Thank goodness. I thought you were ignoring me. I get anxious when I see you talking to other girls." At that moment, he realized she wasn't just overly worried, she was outright fixated. Then things got worse. His coworker at his part-time job, Misaki Yamaguchi, casually joked about him, which Akane must have overheard.
Yuki, you seem down lately. Did your girlfriend get mad at you?
No, I don't even have a girlfriend.
When he got home, he could see her anger building on her face.
Yuki, you seem to be having fun chatting with that woman at work earlier.
How do you know that?
It's fine. I was just worried and went to check on you.
His anxiety spiked. Was she following him, watching his every move?
Akane, don't I have any freedom?
Of course you have freedom, but I have to protect you. Otherwise, someone might take you away from me.
He was speechless at the madness behind her words. In the end, he made a decision. He couldn't keep going like this. The next morning, he told her,
Akane, I just can't be with you. I'm sorry.
Why? I care about you so much. I love you more than anyone else.
I know you have strong feelings for me, Akane, but they're too heavy for me to bear.
She broke down in tears, but eventually spoke quietly.
All right, but Yuki, even if I'm gone, I'll always be watching you.
Her parting words sent shivers down his spine, but he still watched her leave. A few weeks passed after Akane left. Traces of her remained in his room, reminding him of her words each time he saw them.
This was the right thing to do, wasn't it?
Life seemed to return to normal on the surface, but he couldn't shake the feeling that her gaze was still upon him somewhere.